The following is a presentation of Metro Sports.
Since their first meeting in 1939, Washington has looked for the magic formula to beat Wyandotte. Tonight, the Wildcats hope to win their first conference title since 1975. Next on the high school Game of the Week. Welcome to Kansas City, Kansas, everyone. We're at Washington High School tonight. Wyandotte and Washington. This one for the conference title here this evening. As we look at the standings, it's Washington on top 4-1 on the season. The only loss this season in conference play was to this very Wyandotte team that they take on tonight. And hi again, everybody. Neil Harwell with you on the High School Game of the Week here on Metro Sports. Tonight we've got a good one in the Kansas City, Kansas League. We've got Wyandotte and Washington. And Doug, what an atmosphere here tonight we've got at Washington High School. These two teams met already this season. And let's talk about what this means in conference play tonight.
Well, not only is this for the conference title, but this is a big rivalry. There's a lot of excitement in this gym tonight.
All right, let's talk about the players in this ball game tonight. Washington has their do-everything guy, Doug, that's headed to UCLA next season.
That's right. Earl Watson does it all. As Coach Sparkman says, from the 1 spot, the 2 spot, and the small forward spot, he leads this team, averaging 21 points and 8 assists a game, along with 14 rebounds. Very athletic.
Wyandotte is not very big. They feature some outstanding guard play, including this guy.
That's right. Victor Williams is just a junior, but averaging 15.5 points a game. He's their floor leader, and he is the Earl Watson of the junior class. He will have Division I offers as well.
Hey, Doug, I think the entire Kansas City, Kansas League is in the house tonight. Schlegel, Harmon, Wyandotte, Washington, you name it. We should be rocking in here with the starting lineups. They're up next. And you're looking at head coach Wayne Van Dyne of Wyandotte. Coach Van Dyne is in his 3rd season here at Wyandotte. A nice run a season ago, 19 wins. This season they're 10-9, and their conference win is the only win against Washington this season when they beat Washington. And while they turn the lights out in here and introduce the Wildcats, let's look at the starting lineups tonight. First for Washington, you've got Brown. We talked about Watson, Martin, Williams, and Macklin. And then for Wyandotte, they are led by Jones, Hatley, Young, and then Johnson and Williams, those 2 quick guards in the backcourt. Williams had 9 assists against Washington the last time these two teams met. And Washington features their head coach, Leonard Sparkman, who is in his 5th season here as the Wildcat head man, and Leonard Sparkman has not ever beaten Wyandotte in his 5-year run. He says we have lost every which way we can lose to Wyandotte, so he thinks tonight is his night because there's no other way to lose, he says, against this team.
That's right. What they're going to do to try and take control of this game is they're going baseline to baseline. They're playing defense full court, and they're going to push the ball up on offense, try to wear Wyandotte down, and get ready for the 4th quarter.
Boy, Coach Sparkman has said that they've been beaten on last-second shots, you name it. That's how Wyandotte's beaten them this year. And he really thinks this is his season, 4-1 in conference play. And they've only lost 5 games overall. One of the top teams in the city, the Washington Wildcats. And we might say, Doug, that this is the only game in town tonight. Washington and Wyandotte here at Washington High School. Harmon and Schlegel played the other night, and we have a lot of their fans and players in the gym tonight. The atmosphere, to say the least, is electric in here.
Oh, it's definitely electric, and a lot of people are rooting against Washington on their own home court. A lot of the Schlegel people are here because if Washington loses tonight, Wyandotte beats Washington, Schlegel is now tied for the conference lead with Washington. So a lot of people rooting against Washington as well as for Washington tonight.
And there is Earl Watson. As we look at a series note between these two teams, this is the game earlier this season, and in that ball game, Nathan Johnson led the way with 18. He led a number of Wildcats in the contest that had good games. Williams was there with the 9 assists that we talked about. And then Young had 12 points, Dockery had 10, and also Jones had 10. So a lot of Bulldogs had excellent games in that 13-point win for Wyandotte earlier this season at home in the cage at Wyandotte. And there is Nathan Johnson ready to get his game on tonight, the 5'11 junior. Wyandotte not very big, but they've got those small, quick guards in Williams at 5'10 and Johnson at 5'11. They are both juniors.
Yeah, and like you said, Neil, both of them are very quick, and they are just juniors, so they're young. Washington wants to take advantage of that inexperience that Wyandotte's got, but at this point in the season, these guys really are seniors. Starting as long as they have their junior campaigns, they're definitely seniors at this point.
And we go in the center circle. Watson in there at 6'2", controlling the tip for the Wildcats, and they'll have the first crack at it here on their home floor. Out high with the basketball, that's Macklin. Now to Watson quickly. Man-to-man defense for Wyandotte. Here's the jumper just on the other side of the lane. Knocking it home is Steve Brown.
And that's exactly what Coach Sparkman wants. He wants the Wildcats to take advantage of any situation given to them and not force anything.
Brown 6'3", just a sophomore, converting that one. Here's the quick move from outside. That's Williams missing. Rebounded by the Bulldogs. And now on the move, the Wildcats. And laying it up and in is Earl Watson.
Here they come. They're coming out of the gate already. Washington's coming right at Wyandotte, pushing the ball up the floor.
In control, Williams out high. Had the excellent floor game against Washington last time in the 67-54 victory. Johnson from outside.
And that's what Victor Williams needs Nathan Johnson to get off like he just did. That will open it up for Victor Williams as well.
And the ball stolen away in transition. Count it and one.
Boy, is this a pure rivalry right now. These guys are playing on so much emotion. It is incredible.
It's Patrick Jones going to the free throw line. And Jones, as we look again, had 10 in the last meeting.
Well, that was a good reach right there by Patrick Jones, getting the ball, and Wyandotte just looking up the floor. Patrick Jones goes strong to the glass and aggressive, getting the foul from Earl Watson and one.
Missing the free throw. 5-4 is the score. Washington on top. Watson throwing it away. And Doug, he's a great passer to go along with all his other skills. 8 assists a game on the season.
Definitely is. And at that point, we can see that nobody was looking, had their head up, looking for Earl Watson to pass them the ball. He is definitely a good passer.
Wyandotte basketball. Victor Williams out high. On the wing with it, Hatley. And again to Johnson, steps back for three, misses the shot, rebound to Williams, and then taken away by Brown. And Steve Brown, the sophomore, bringing it up the floor and getting it into the hands of the point guard, Joe Macklin, who's also a sophomore. Washington, a very disciplined team under Coach Sparkman, and they have used that to the success story this season, and looking for their first conference title since 1975. Shot from outside is good. That's the three.
Great shot there.
Joe Macklin.
Exactly. Joe Macklin needs to get that shot. He needs to get confidence on him because he will get shots like that with Earl Watson running the point guard spot.
Williams between the legs. Tremendous quickness as he went right by Williams out front. Let's look again at that last three-pointer.
Now here we see Earl Watson going off 2 or 3 screens. He's getting bumped, 2 screens there. He's still staying with it. Earl Watson does a good job of controlling the ball, making a good move to find Macklin wide open. Macklin drains it.
And back live, Wyandotte has the basketball. Nathan Johnson out high, has a three-pointer to his credit already. They just clear out for those guards. He took it strong, but missed it with the left hand. Washington on the move. This is Watson. Stolen away by Williams. The races onto the rack on the pull-up. Misses with the jumper. Johnson misses again. Tapped around and Washington clears.
Oh gosh, is Victor Williams quick or what?
And remember, both he and Johnson are just juniors. Out high Williams. On the wing to Brown. Now Watson for three. Oh, Watson.
Watson's got the stroke, and that's what Coach Sparkman likes to see. Once again, Washington is working the ball around, making Wyandotte play hard on defense. They want to wear Wyandotte out so they can take over in the fourth quarter.
Watson, his first points tonight. That's a 3. He averages 21 a game on the season. And here's a zone defense thrown at them by the Wildcats.
We won't see much of this tonight by either team, the zone defense. Mostly we'll see man-to-man pressure defense.
From the corner, shot missing. Hatley the rebound on the miss by Johnson. And now it's Jones that gets the rebound for Wyandotte. They're hitting the boards on the offensive end very well. And a foul as Williams takes it up.
Well, most of the season, Wyandotte has been outsized. In this game right now, they got about the same size advantage or height as Washington does. So what it amounts to now is who's fundamental enough to put a body on the other team and get them off the glass, boxing out.
And to the free throw line is Victor Williams. And Victor on the season, 78% from the free throw line. Entering the ball game for Washington right now, and I don't have his number. 24. We don't have a number on it.
One of the things Coach Sparkman was concerned about in last game, Wyandotte completely took Washington out of the game by trash talking. They did it kind of off the floor type of deal. We can see the same thing going on tonight. Wyandotte is already in the heads of the Wildcats.
This is Earl Watson on the wing for 3, missing the shot. And the rebound taken away by Johnson at 5'11". And right there, he is trapped in the backcourt. Got it away to Williams. And swatted in the lane by Washington by our unidentified player. Check Watson! Oh, please! Woo! And ripped away by Wyandotte. Watson went around his world twice. We got to look again at that one. Johnson on the miss. And the rebound by Watson.
I guess it's safe to say that Earl Watson's exciting in the open court.
Man, nobody finished it up, but we had a lot of fun watching it. A little hesitation between the legs out front. Now Brown on the wing. We'll try to pass on the name of 24, who just stroked it home as we find it. Just found out that that is Holt, who nails the jumper from outside for Washington, and he's got his first 2 tonight. Foul on the baseline as Jones takes it to the rack. Let's take a look again at that transition move by Watson.
Well, Victor Williams does a good job of penetrating, leans a little bit, getting his shot blocked. What can you say about Earl Watson?
Oh!
Unbelievable.
Earl with an eye full here early. 3 minutes to play left in the first quarter, 12-7. The homestanding Wildcats on top, and Coach Sparkman in that huddle right now. It's been kind of tough for Washington over the last couple of seasons, Doug. They've had a lot of people transfer away. A lot of excellent players gone on to Shawnee Mission North and to Schlegel. But to their credit, plenty of folks like Earl Watson and others have stuck around, and Coach Sparkman has them playing very well this season, leading this Kansas City-Kansas conference.
Right, not only is that a credit to Coach Sparkman, he is a little upset that those guys transferred because he did work hard with them as youngsters and did develop them. To Earl Watson's credit, on the other hand, he has shown great senior leadership in getting a lot of the younger guys, underclassmen together and leading this team. Earl Watson has shown leadership as well as Coach Sparkman's done a real excellent job coaching these guys.
There's Patrick Jones at the free throw line, missing the first. And gets the second. So Jones 1 of 2 from the line. And we've got a play stoppage out front. Officials talking it over. 12-8 is your score. Washington on top by 4. They're in their own gym with 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. And I didn't catch what happened there.
Well, there was a substitution after the free throw. They were trying to get him in the ball game. That's up to the officials to get him in the game. The official has to wave the substitute into the game. The horn cannot do it. In talking to Coach Sparkman before the game, he was really adamant about getting Wyandotte worn out. How he wants to do that is by pressuring them full court and then pushing the ball up the floor and take what's given to them. As we have seen the last couple of trips on the floor, Washington has been in the zone, so they've detected a weakness by Wyandotte. They think that Wyandotte is not as good of an outside threat are more of a threat one-on-one than they are in the zone.
Wyandotte will press you a lot. Here they're going to go to the man full court pressure. 12-8 to score. Washington on top by 4. And of course, Washington will have to be very patient in handling that press to give back to Watson. On the wing to Holt, back to Watson. He is met there by Pearson. On the jumper from outside, missing. That's Holt over the standard, out of bounds to Wyandotte.
Well, in that possession, Washington was very patient, and they showed the discipline that Coach Sparkman has instilled in them. They moved the ball around 4 or 5 times, getting a good shot. That was a good shot by Holt. He didn't have a guy within 3 feet of him.
The zone defense by Washington. Out front, Johnson with it. Here's the shot down by Williams. Victor Williams with a 3, and it's 12-11 the score. Washington on top, on the move, Wildcats. That is Brown on the baseline missing, but right back at him is Martin.
Well, with so many bodies on the floor, it's difficult for Wyandotte to get up and get a body. They've got to get a body on any offensive glass.
Williams, now Pearson, missing the shot, and a rebound taken away by Washington. 14-11 the score, Wildcats on top. But Pearson is all over Watson. Wayne Van Dyne's team for Wyandotte plays almost exclusive man-to-man.
And Pearson is all over Earl Watson, totally denying him the ball and not helping out at all.
Brown nearly had it stolen by Pearson. There's Courtney Holt with the basketball. And now back out high. A lot of patience shown by the Wildcats, then the turnover. And we've got a kicked ball on Wyandotte, so Washington keeps it. They nearly had the steal out front.
Well, Washington does a real good job of crashing the boards here. Here, nobody boxes out. And Romarda Martin gets the easy basket. Real nice play by Romarda Martin. He's in the right place at the right time, but it's also a hustle play.
So there's timeout on the floor, 22nd timeout called as Coach Sparkman gets in that huddle and gets on his team right now. They lead it by 3 here at Washington High School. The tournament gets a berth to the big dance, the Final 64.
That'd be nice to see UMKC in the Final 64.
Well, Coach Sunvold really had things looking strong. Then he loses Tony Bird. His 2 top scorers go down due to team violations, gone from the team. And now Charles Parks, their leading rebounder of what's left, has a hurt wrist, and he's not making the trip. So Kangaroos in a little bit of trouble. Williams the distance.
And Victor Williams not only portraying his foot quickness there, but his hand quickness as well. Good rip by Victor Williams.
And Victor, averaging 16 a game on the season, now has 6 in this one. Watson dumps it to the baseline, and Brown, that's not Brown, knocking it down is Martin. Romarda Martin, the junior, 5'11".
Good shot by Romarda Martin, and also a good job there by Earl Watson, keeping everybody involved and not going one-on-one, being patient, even though he's being denied so tough.
Williams penetrates against the defense and taken out of there by Courtney Holt. Now to Watson. Earl Watson on the move with the hesitation and brings it back out. 16-13 your score, Washington on top. And again, it is Martin. 4 seconds left in the quarter. Johnson from outside, and Nathan Johnson takes us to break at the end of the quarter. The 3-pointer by Johnson goes down, his 2nd tonight. And we have played one here from Washington High School. The Wildcats lead it by 2. Welcome back to Washington High School. 2nd quarter action, and the Wildcats lead it by 2 on their home floor. Remember, if they win this game, they win the conference title outright. Wyandotte right now, they're having other things to say about that, as they are hanging right in this basketball game. Shots up and goes for Alvin Dockery, his first 2 tonight, the 6-foot senior.
Real nice strength by Alvin Dockery, getting the ball to the rim, giving it a chance to go in.
Wyandotte 10-9 on the season. They tied this one up. Remember, they beat Washington earlier this season in their own gym. And a foul against Washington. it's on Holt.
Well, that was Cedric Frierson doing a good job. It looked like Earl Watson stepped out of bounds. Frierson doing an excellent job of pressing him and using that big, athletic, strong body that he's got.
Washington in his zone defense. Williams from outside, and Williams another three.
Boy, does that make Williams a double threat. Not only if he can stick that three, he can utilize his quickness to go to the rack and create other openings.
And here's a steal by Williams, his race to the rack.
Boy, is this kid impressive.
Man, go back, get some more quickness. And timeout quickly called on the floor as the Victor Williams show went on for the last couple, as he nailed the three-pointer, made the steal, and made the basket.
Well, Victor Williams is showing he's got confidence in his three-pointer, pulling up from a foot behind the arc with the man in his face and draining it. On the other end of the floor, Victor Williams using that quickness on defense and anticipation to create that turnover steal and get an easy layup for himself.
And now you're seeing why Victor Williams is getting a few Division I looks, although he's only a junior. And just a little bit excited here on the Washington floor.
Well, Victor Williams is showing he is definitely a Division I prospect and probably a high major prospect. This kid has got a nice body on for being just a junior. That's a big kid right there. Look at those muscles, look at those guns.
He's been throwing some iron up at Gold's Gym in the offseason. And the pressure defense here. The thing about this game, Doug, we talked about it, not much size on the floor, but have mercy. Tons of quickness out there.
Jeez. Give up one to receive one.
Out high, Courtney Holt working against a new man in the game for Wyandotte, Nick Smith, the 6'3" sophomore. This is Brown, knocked away, and Washington will keep it. 6.5 to play in the first half. Washington and Wyandotte locked up in a KCK matchup here. Glad to have you with us on the high school game of the week here on Metro Sports. Along with Doug Elston, this is Neil Harwell. And into the ball game for Washington, you saw Desjuan Williams. And Washington with the basketball right now, trailing by 5.
Well, as hard as Wyandotte is working on the defensive glass, they're using that defense to create their offense. Victor Williams doing a nice job of getting his hands in everywhere, using that quickness. Coach Van Dyke has really got him playing hard on the defensive end of the floor.
That foul is on Hatley. That is the first personal foul on Hatley, first team foul on Wyandotte.
Just a reach in there by Hatley. Got a little bit of an arm. Once again, they can't get into that reaching dilemma there. It is a dilemma in the fact that you get into that, you start getting fouls like you just got, a little ticky-tack foul.
Brown picks it up off the dirt and throws it in. Brown with 4 now. Williams out high, the quickness, gets a man open, but Hatley traveled.
Victor Williams doing a good job of keeping everybody involved with Nathan Johnson on the bench. And here we see Nathan Johnson coming back in right now for Victor Williams. So it's up to Nathan Johnson right now to get everybody involved and spread the ball around to all of his teammates.
Full court pressure again by Wyandotte. Watson all the way up at half court, gets the inbound. And a steal by Johnson. And he's fouled as he takes it with the left hand. And that foul upcoming on Washington will go against Joe Macklin.
What's really impressive is both Nathan Johnson and Victor Williams are underclassmen. They're great anticipators on defense and have excellent quickness. Here Nathan Johnson does a good job of anticipating, taking the ball strong to the rack, drawing the contact, and getting a foul. And both of these guys work hard and they lead by example. They're both underclassmen. They're showing all these seniors how to play just by playing hard on both ends of the floor.
And Johnson, like Williams, a pretty good free throw shooter, 73% on the season. With about a 3 on the Richter scale as Coach Van Dyne looks on as Johnson knocks down 2. 25-20. Wyandotte on top here in Washington's gym. Brown on the move. Around the arc now to Watson. Earl Watson finds himself open. And the rebound taken in by Wyandotte. Nick Smith pulled it, the foul on Washington. And that will be the 16th foul on the Wildcats. And the foul goes against Roberson.
Well, Washington does a good job once again of being patient, and this is an absolute faux pas. You cannot leave Earl Watson, the man going to UCLA, alone. He will drain that shot more times than not.
Excuse me, that's Joe Macklin that picked up the foul. Instead of 50, he said 20. Trapped is Johnson, they get it away. Watson in the open floor.
Don't get him fired up in Washington.
Earl with a little vertical, getting the Wildcat faithful up off their feet. Back to within 3.
And Wyandotte right here, this is a critical possession. They've got to be patient and not create too much when they create a turnover for themselves. They just raped Nathan Johnson down there, and Earl Watson showing his athletic ability.
Well, Doug, we said there's not much size in here, but we forgot to say there will be slamming. At 6'2", Earl Watson headed to UCLA next season, and he now has 7 points in the basketball game. The crowd still begging for another replay, leaning in over the top, trying to get a look at our monitor. Underneath 5 to play, first half, 25-22. Wyandotte on top by 3. That last personal foul win against Washington, it was on Joe Macklin, as Coach Sparkman in his 5th season looks on, his team trailing by 3 right now. And again, another conference at the scorer's desk. Wayne Van Dyne trying to sneak in there to find out what's going on. As they still talk it over at the scorer's desk, Doug, I'm at a loss right here.
I don't know what the argument is myself. We're looking down the corner of the floor for something. We don't know. This is really to the advantage of Wyandotte right here, because Washington goes down and gets a slam, you get a lot of emotion going, and all of a sudden it's capped.
And now the buzzer going off again. Why? Because they're in the 1-and-1 situation, apparently. So we'll take this time out to look at some of the action we've had already. The last dunk by Earl Watson.
I don't think that's what the delay is for. Everybody wants to see that. Earl Watson. And once again, Wyandotte is definitely the benefactor here of this delay in the time. Washington had the definite momentum there by the dunk with Earl Watson going up. And Wyandotte needed to settle down. This will get everybody settled down. And Wyandotte back in the game emotionally, mentally.
Here's Patrick Jones to the line. He's the 3rd leading scorer on the Bulldogs team this season. And only 49% from the free throw line, nailing that one. Jones averages 10 a game on the season. And he's given his team a 5-point lead, 27-22, with Watson on the move. On the baseline, Williams missing the shot. Ball swatted out of there by the Wildcats. They keep it alive. Macklin is fouled as he takes it. Keeping it alive for Washington. A nice job by Romarda Martin.
Well, Washington letting that emotion carry over here. Here's a nice move inside. Romarda Martin doing a good job. That's a good move there by Macklin, drawing the foul. But Romarda Martin doing a good job of keeping that ball alive and giving his team a second opportunity.
And the Wildcats to the free throw line. Joe Macklin goes there this time. Joe so far tonight, 3 points, missing the first shot. On the season, though, he's an outstanding free throw shooter, best on the team at 76%.
And there we just saw Coach Sparkman. Coach Sparkman's really had a tough time with Wyandotte, as we talked about earlier. But here you can see the longer Wyandotte stays in this basketball game, the tougher it is for his team at the end of the ball game.
4.5 to play, first half. Glad to have you with us on the high school game of the week here on Metro Sports. Plenty more high school action coming your way next week as we get underway with the Missouri State playoffs. On the move, Williams misses the shot, and right out of the air, Martin takes it on the run.
That was actually a very nice play by Earl Watson. Earl Watson was screening off the Wyandotte defender, giving Martin a clear shot to the basket.
Romarda Martin took the rebound like an outlet pass, and he was gone. About 3 seconds, he went the distance. Out high, Williams averaging 6 assists a game on the season, getting his swivel on as he heads for the goal. Watson took it out of there. Williams tried to pick his pocket, and Wyandotte keeps it.
And here we see Earl Watson probably trying to get out of the way, but does an excellent job of setting the screen, just delaying Jamie Hatley enough for Martin to get to the rim. Well, we just saw that move right there by Victor Williams. Not only is he quick, got a pretty shot, but he's got instincts as well. He just sliced in there for the open shot.
Nice body control on the play. Did not finish the shot that time. 3.5 to play, first half. A 4-down offense. Williams now dumping off to Johnson. Throws it up with the left hand. They wave it off. They say the foul occurred on the floor against Washington.
Nice job there by Nathan Johnson, taking it to the rack strong. Here Wyandotte is in the bonus, so they're going to continue to be aggressive and go toward the basket, drawing more fouls and sending themselves to the free throw line.
So Johnson heads back to the line. That last foul was on Earl Watson, his second. And Doug, last time these two teams played, Wyandotte won the game. Watson had 3 early fouls and didn't play as much as they wanted him to in that ballgame. They hope the same thing doesn't occur here tonight.
That's right, exactly right. Earl Watson was never given an opportunity to get in the flow of the game. He got into foul trouble early with 3 fouls in the first quarter, and then picked up his 4th one early in the second half. So never really got into the flow of the basketball game.
Johnson missing the front end. Now it's Washington basketball. 27-25, Wyandotte on top. Watson open down the floor.
What can we say? That's what Coach Sparkman is not wanting right there. Wyandotte will trash talk with you, and they right there they entice Earl Watson to do that. Earl Watson picking up the technical foul there for trash talking. Smart play on the part of Wyandotte. Stupid play on the part of Earl Watson. He cannot fall into that trap. Does a good job of getting an advantage, just breaking himself away from the pack for the open dunk.
And you know, he didn't hang up there too long either. I guess it's just the trash talking after they got him for. I thought originally they called it for hanging on the rim. It was the initial call, but I think it was just that little jump talk as they were heading the other way.
That's exactly right. Cedric Ferguson did a good job of not saying anything, but just looking at Watson like, you don't have anything, I'll get you next time. Now, Earl Watson probably didn't say a whole lot. He said just enough for the official to take control and give him the technical.
And Williams with the second, now has a dozen. But Watson headed to UCLA next season in California to play basketball, but the way he ran the floor like a post pattern, he could move upstate and take Jerry Rice's place. Williams for 3, misses the shot, and the rebound by Watson. On the move, Martin, tennis shoes hit the ceiling with his pump fake. Now it's Brown keeping it alive, and Wyandotte controls the board. Johnson on the move. He's met there quickly and pulls up with the shot.
Oh, Nathan Johnson, you're on fire!
His 3rd three-pointer. Give me a break with that one. Brown bounces outside, tosses it down low. Macklin hangs and went right back up after it, nearly corralled it.
Give it to Nathan in the corner.
And the steal by Washington. He stuck it right off the front of the rim.
Almost hyperextending his knee in the process.
And traveling on Wyandotte. but the knee locked on him.
Lamarta's working hard, but that's embarrassing, Lamarta. We give you all the credit in the world for that good defensive play.
But hey, Lamarta's only 5'11", so maybe they have another opportunity here tonight. From outside, Holt misses the shot. Rebound taken down by Willie Young, who's in there now. And the lob over the top of everybody. And we're getting a little ragged in here, but we're having some fun. That's the bottom line. 31-27. And it's Wyandotte on top by 4. They've led by as many as 5 here in the ball game tonight. 1:48 to play first half.
And with Earl Watson out of the basketball game, Washington has got to find somebody to take control and get them some shots.
Romarda Martin can't get the roll. Rebounded by Pearson. Williams backs out to Johnson. Nathan had it stripped away and taken down by Courtney Holt now.
This pace of this game right here is definitely in the favor of Wyandotte. Wyandotte is an up-tempo team. They use their quickness to their advantage very well. Wyandotte is pushing Washington into doing things they don't want to do. Here, Washington is slowing the ball down to take control of that tempo.
In fact, they've gone to a four corners type offense here, Doug, with a minute left to play in the first half, perhaps looking for the final shot or the easy bucket off the four corners.
That's right. Coach Sparkman has realized that his team is a little ragged right now and wants to take control of that tempo, get him under control.
And stolen away by Wyandotte, taken away by Patrick Jones. Patrick, the senior, taken right back by Washington. Williams stuck his mitts in there. Tight ball situation to Washington.
Real good play here by Desjuan Williams, being strong and going after that ball, not getting any piece of the arm, going directly after the ball. That's real good play by Desjuan Williams.
Well, let's see if Washington spreads the floor again in the four corners. And Doug, I guess you can tell us a little bit about what they're looking for here, because you played for the inventor of the four-corner offense, Dean Smith, out there in North Carolina. Break it down for me here a little bit.
Well, what Washington is trying to do, not only they want to go into the locker room down by a minimum of 4 points and hopefully 2. They want to take control of the tempo of this basketball game and get shot just like that.
On the backdoor cut, Joe Macklin has another hoop. Excellent bucket off the four corners by the Wildcats. 31-29, Bulldogs by 2.
That's what that four corners will do for you. A lot of backdoor cuts in that four corners, and you're going to get easy layups.
Nathan Johnson out high to Williams. Williams with 12 in the ball game. Victor Williams!
Oh my gosh, it's just a matter of time, Victor.
Martin at the buzzer, caught some unit. But we played one half of basketball, and Williams tossed in a 3 at the end of each quarter as they head to the dressing room. Victor Williams with 15, and Washington leads it by 5 at halftime. Having some fun here at Washington High School tonight in Kansas City, Kansas. The Bulldogs of Wyandotte leading this one by 5. What a fast-paced and exciting first half that we had, Doug. And Earl Watson got this crowd excited with a couple of early dunks.
Well, Earl Watson is definitely one to have fun over. He's using his athletic ability to take him to the next level. Earl Watson going up for the slam. Once again, this is not a replay of the first one. This is the second time Earl Watson going upstairs once again. On the other end of the floor, we have Victor Williams. Victor Williams got excellent quickness. Here he uses those great hands he's got to pick the pocket of Joe Macklin for the easy layup.
And it all amounts to a Wyandotte lead by 5 at halftime, 34-29. And we'll be back with some more halftime activities right after this. And we're back at halftime here at Washington High School, and Wyandotte leads at 34-29 in this battle of Kansas City, Kansas league foes. Quite a rivalry going here against Washington and Wyandotte as they meet here tonight. And we'll be back with some more comments right after these messages. Back at Washington High School, 34-29. Wyandotte leading in this contest right now. We'll take a look at the first half stats. This was a very fast-paced first half. Washington hanging in there with 50% shooting.
Yeah, it's pretty even as we see. The only difference in the first half stats are the free throws. Wyandotte's been to the free throw line 12 times to Washington's 2, and they're hitting 67% of their free throws. Other than that, it's pretty even. Field goal shooting, they're getting the same number of attempts at the basket.
And remember, Coach Sparkman's team has never beaten a Wyandotte team in his 5 seasons here. And he really hopes this is the night that they pull it off before the home fans. Not only that, if they win the game, they also win the conference title outright. Wyandotte has other ideas, though, and played an outstanding first half. They lead it by 5 as we begin the second half of play.
And this is about the time here where Earl Watson really needs to step up his game right here in the second half and become a leader on the floor for Washington.
And Doug, I was looking at those stats. There's only 4 assists combined in the first half for both teams. Nobody wanting to give it up on the high school game of the week tonight.
That's definitely true. Nobody wants to give it up. It's a one-on-one game, but a lot of guys are also getting layups too, wide open layups at the basket.
Of course, I guess Earl Watson gave it up one time. Just didn't finish it off. In the lane, Brown on a nice dish from outside and tipped home by Washington. Was that Martin that got the tip?
Well, Martin once again working hard on that glass. Wyandotte has got to get a body on them immediately. Get them off that glass.
And Martin tips it out high. Romarda has 10 points tonight and an offensive foul as Johnson tried to go to the glass.
Johnson coming out, firing early, trying to continue that hot streak he's got. Earl Watson doing a real nice job of holding his ground in here and drawing that offensive foul. That's a good way right there to display leadership.
Washington with the basketball, trailing it by 3 after the first hoop of the half. Watson hanging, missing, right up there on the pogo stick to pull it down.
He got a little halftime talk in there by Coach Sparkman. He took it to heart. He's going to work.
Watson now with 13.
Oh, God.
On the move, Victor Williams. Ball taken away and dumped right back inside and knocked out of bounds. Wyandotte keeps it. A little crossover out front by Williams.
Oh, Watson doing another nice job right here, using that screen, curling right to the basket, getting that open shot, misses it, follows his own shot real effectively and strong. Good play by Earl Watson all the way around, using that screen, being fundamental and going directly to the rim.
Watson actually with 11 so far in the game. 1-point game, Wyandotte on top. Washington with the zone on the inbound. And here's Williams out front.
And this is how Washington is, once again, their tactics is slowing down the pace of the game right here, going to that zone defense and making Wyandotte beat them from the outside.
Williams from outside. And missing the three-pointer. He had 16 in the first half. I think I said 15 as we went to break. He finished with 16 in the first half to lead all scorers. And right now, Wyandotte leading by 1.
Well, this is definitely the style of play that Victor Williams likes. He likes the up-tempo style of game, which gets him in the open court.
Out high, Watson. This is Williams. Trying to go off glass from out there, and rebound by Wyandotte. Williams with it on the move. Now to Johnson. Between the two then, Johnson had 11 in the first half. Williams had 16 for a combined total of 27 for these guards. And you know, a couple of weeks ago, we had what I still feel is the best guard combo in the city this season. And there is Johnson hanging and scoring with 13. And that was T.J. Brown and Brett McFall out there at Olathe South. You got to lump these two right behind them, though, as probably the next best tandem we've seen this year.
Definitely. Both guard tandems do a real good job of complementing each other. Here, Wyandotte's guard tandem is a little more athletic than Olathe South, but Olathe South is very fundamental.
Brown from outside, and he knocks it down. And Steve Brown was 6. And the other thing you have to remember, the two guards at Olathe South are seniors. These guys are juniors. They got another year left.
That's exactly right. Here we can see Nathan Johnson. The outside shot hasn't fallen, so he's going to take it to the rack. Good play by Nathan Johnson, creating the shot off the dribble. Once again, the officials are doing a good job here. Right there we saw Desjuan Williams slapping away Victor Williams' hand, and the officials stopped it immediately. They want to keep control of this basketball game because it can get out of hand very easily.
Washington, the steal by Macklin to Watson, who blew the lay-in, keeps it alive though, and finishes.
Well, that's why Earl Watson's averaging close to 14 rebounds a game, because he has great jumping ability and stays with it.
Yeah, he nearly averages a triple-double on the season. 14 rebounds, 8 assists, and 21 points a game. And Washington has taken the lead 37-36. Williams, you gotta cut that out. Victor Williams with 18.
It's almost pick your poison. If you give Victor Williams too much room, he's going to pull up from three-point land and drain it. If you don't, you step up on him, he's going to go right around you.
Knocked out of bounds, and Wyandotte will keep it.
Well, Earl Watson doing a real good job here, being the beneficiary. Good play there by Joe Macklin, looking inside of Earl Watson. Earl Watson misses the first one, misses the second tip, stays with it, using that jumping ability and 6'2" frame to get the easy bucket.
Wyandotte basketball. Johnson from outside for three, missing the shot. Shot out of a cannon to rebound it, Willie Young. And he's fouled as he pulls the board.
Well, it's 6'2", Willie Young going after the boards like that. Obviously, he doesn't have the height to stay with the 6'5" or 6'6" guy, but he's definitely got the jumping ability. Here, Willie Young just busting the glass, shooting out of a cannon, as you said, Neil. Great jumping ability and strength by Willie Young.
Willie Young, the junior. Yeah, if you're 6'2", though, you're a big guy on this floor tonight.
That's exactly right. You got to have something else big for that. We got all these great athletes. They're all jumpers and quick and fast. Every one of them.
Willie Young averaging 6 a game on the season. 1 out of 2 from the line that time. And it's a 2-point game. Bulldogs on top, 39-37. Watson handling out high. Now to Steve Brown. On the cutter, Macklin tried to save it, but he was out of bounds, and Wyandotte will now get it.
Coach Van Dyke is doing an excellent job of rotating guys on Earl Watson. Here we see Jamie Hatley guarding him in the last possession. In the time before, we saw Cedric Pierce. Both guys are fresh, and they're giving Earl Watson new looks all the time on defense.
Robert Willingham is in there now for Washington, wearing number 10. Out high is Victor Williams, working against the Washington defense right now. And it looks like they're in some type of a gimmick defense here, maybe a box and one or something like that. Triangle and 2. Or possibly shift it back to the man-to-man now.
Yeah, they're in a man-to-man now, trying to sag a little bit, keeping that quickness in check.
Dumping it down low and out of bounds. That was Jones trying to get someone free underneath, and Washington will have it. Wildcats trailing by 2 with just over 3 to play in the third quarter. On the crossover, Willingham missing Watson with a tip in.
Well, the pace of the game is definitely in the favor of Washington right now. Wyandotte likes that helter-skelter play, and Washington likes the half-court tempo play where they can excel in this type of game. Here we can see Washington doing a real good job of getting an open shot here. Earl Watson staying active, following that open shot with that tip. Good athletic ability once again by Earl Watson.
We talked about what a good jumper he is and how explosive he is, but he gets off his feet so quickly. So many times he is bouncing off the floor 2 and 3 times before the other guy has a chance to get up there that's around him. And Watson now with 15. On the move, Pearson. Rebounded by Watson. Oh, Watson on the move, on the take. Oh, man, on the baseline for Watson, has 17.
He's playing with Victor Williams in the first half. Earl Watson taking control of this game in the second half when it counts the most.
And it's now a 2-point lead for the Wildcats as it's become the Earl Watson show on the last couple of possessions. Williams for 3. Victor Williams has 21.
Victor Williams came off 2 screens and was immediately squared up and ready to shoot that basketball.
Watson on the move. Earl Watson getting his game going here in the second half. Has 10 points in the half, and it's 43-42. Wyandotte up by 1. Williams working with that one-out, four-down offense. Coach Van Dyne employing right here. Williams on the isolation. You've got to cut that out. Well, Victor Williams off the dribble with 23.
When they go to a 1-4 low like that, put Victor Williams at the point guard. They're saying, Victor, you take the ball and you go one-on-one, create your own shot. The ball is in your hands.
Boy, when you can pull up off the dribble as quickly as Victor Williams, it really doesn't matter how tall you are because you're separated. Watson inside with the miss, rebounded in there nicely by Willie Young. On the move, this is Johnson. And he's triple teamed over there, back out high to Williams. See if they go 4 down again. Coach Wayne Van Dyne with all kinds of experience here in the Kansas City area for Wyandotte. He coached at Liberty for a number of years and had some outstanding teams over there.
Well, they're running the bang play right now. That's what it's called, bang.
And a foul with a bang by Washington. Laying the lick is Joe Macklin. And that is his 4th personal foul according to our official stats.
Well, Victor Williams here crossing over and then using that quickness to accelerate to his right-hand side. Well, you can't say anything more about Victor Williams. He's got excellent quickness and he's hitting all his jump shots tonight.
Victor saved a good one for the high school game of the week tonight. Averaging 16 a game on the season. He has 23 tonight. 44-43. Wyandotte on top by 1. And at the free throw line, it's Alvin Dockery, the 6-foot senior. Nice looking stroke for Alvin. 74% on the season from the line for Dockery. And Alvin smoothly with 2 has given his team now a 3-point lead, 46-43. Washington will have the basketball. Wyandotte with the full court pressure. Number 50 you saw entered the game, Nick Smith. They try to go inside to Watson. Stolen away by Wyandotte. On the move, the Bulldogs, and out of bounds, knocked out of there by Washington. That was Dockery leading the attack as they took it in transition.
Well, that full court press that Wyandotte just applied on that last basket has put them into the tempo that they want, which is this fast-paced tempo right here. They want to get the ball, they want to get it up the floor and move with it. Good play by Coach Van Dyke. He wants to get that up-tempo game going.
30 seconds to play, 3rd quarter. They get it in the hands of Victor Williams and spread the floor.
And with 20 seconds to go in the quarter, they want to get the last shot. Obviously, Victor Williams is holding it out here. Washington is in his zone. They don't want to come out too far because Victor Williams is coming right at you, about 2 seconds.
Start the offense here. Williams. The shot from Dockery missing. Watson picked it off the head of a Wyandotte player, lets it fly at the buzzer. And we've played 3 quarters here from Washington High School. The Wildcats trailing by 3, but Earl Watson got his game going in the 3rd quarter with 10 points. Back at Washington High School for 4th quarter action. We've got a good one going here tonight. 46-43, Wildcats trailing by 3 in their home gym against Wyandotte. And we've got a foul inside on Wyandotte. And Washington will have it underneath. There's the foul trouble tonight. Macklin just took a seat with those 4 personals. Earl Watson has 3, just as he had in that earlier matchup that Wyandotte won 67-54 over at Wyandotte High School.
This is the quarter here that Coach Butler says that his conditioning of his team will take over. The deep play of their bench, and they want to go up and down here and wear Wyandotte down. On the other hand, Wyandotte wants them to do that because they like that up-tempo game.
Watson tried to keep it alive, but now it's in the hands of Nathan Johnson. Johnson out high, working against Watson now. Good matchup out front in this one. Now it's Dockery.
Wyandotte doing a good job of being patient. They're setting a lot of screens for each other here and being patient. Except for that screen by Frierson. Frierson just got caught moving a little too much on that screen. He's got to be set and planted by the time he hits that defender.
Washington basketball. This is Watson for three. Earl Watson, a big three. Ball game tied at 46 now. On the move with the hesitation, Johnson picks up the foul. And he or Williams, doesn't really matter, can just give you an eyeful and take you off the dribble.
Here we see Desjuan Williams doing a good job of finding his partner, Earl Watson, in the corner all alone for a three-point shot. Now, if Earl Watson continues to hit that three-point shot, they're going to have to come out on him. In that case, he's got to go. He's going to go to the basket.
Well, and that was Watson's fourth personal foul with 7 minutes left, and it looks like Coach Sparkman and his staff over there, they elect to leave him in there right now.
Well, I don't know if that's a good call by Coach Sparkman. With 7 minutes to go in the game, and you got your star player with 4 personal fouls, you got to bring him out and just hope for the best for the next couple minutes. Maybe put him back in with 4.5 to 5 minutes to go in the game.
Well, Doug, he means so much to this team in every category. I mean, he's their emotional leader. He's leader on the floor, leads them in every category. It's probably going to be pretty tough to play without him if they have to sit him down.
Definitely would be very tough, but he's more important in the last 3 to 4 minutes of the game than he is with 7 minutes to go in the basketball game.
All right, back into the ball game for Washington is Joe Macklin. And a foul inside against Wyandotte. Or was it a 5-second call? It was 5 seconds. So Washington with a good defense calls the 5-second call, and Wayne Van Dyne looking on as his team must play defense right now. Ball game tied at 5. Macklin on the give and go. Rebounded there by Wyandotte. Traveling call against the Bulldogs.
And here we can see that Desjuan Williams is getting the ball and he's going with it. Got on the floor, and the referee called a traveling call.
Yeah, it's on Williams after he skidded across the floor. And timeout called by Wyandotte as they had a problem getting the ball inbound over there.
That's really a judgment call by the part of the official. If a guy gets on the floor like that, you try and find some kind of pivot where he's got his knee down or his hip or whatever. You try to find some kind of pivot equivalent to that of a pivot foot.
And Wayne Van Dyne in the middle of that huddle talking it over with his Bulldogs. They led at halftime. Ball game tied at 46 right now.
Desjuan Williams doing a good job of hustling from behind, and he did. He just kind of skidded across the floor. That's really a good call by the official.
Just had the carpet pulled out from underneath him. Desjuan okay after the great hustle. And Williams out there right now. Ball game tied at 46, 6:50 to play in this one. Wyandotte in here, 10-9 on the season. And Washington 14-5. Washington only 1 loss in conference play, and that loss to these Bulldogs. Again, if Washington comes out on top tonight, they win the conference outright. Williams on the move, knocked away by Washington and into the hands of Watson.
Well, Victor Williams at that point tried to make 1 extra pass. What he should have probably done, and he knows it at this point, is pull up and shoot that shot instead of trying to pass it away.
Shot is blocked. Macklin had it blocked. I couldn't see who got it for Wyandotte. And now the Bulldogs with the basketball. Williams working against Courtney Holt.
And this is exactly where Wyandotte wants the ball, in the hands of Victor Williams and Nathan Johnson.
The quick crossover to Johnson.
Oh, that's pretty basketball. Nathan Johnson knew the ball was coming to him and knew exactly where to go. He knew to go right to the basket, and Victor Williams was penetrating.
There's Williams letting it fly, and Desjuan Williams with 2. 48, we're tied back up here at Washington. Williams out high, has 23 tonight.
Wyandott's going to try to run a myriad of screens here, try to get anybody open and keep the ball in Victor Williams' hands and get him shots.
Missed the pull-up that time. Rebounded nicely by Holt. Off to Williams. Williams in the lane, dumps it off inside to Brown. Give the credit to Williams.
Nice pass by Desjuan Williams there, spotting Brown, cutting underneath.
Washington with a 2-point lead. And a foul or a timeout. It's a timeout called by Wyandotte as Wayne Van Dyne's team now trails it by 2.
Here we can see Victor Williams, that crossover kill you once again. Nathan Johnson cutting right to the basket for the easy lay-in. Good pass and play by both. Desjuan Williams also doing a good job. He's taking over some slack for Earl Watson, who's in foul trouble at this point. Earl's a little standoffish right now at this point in the game, not wanting to pick up his 5th foul, and he wants to stay in the game. Desjuan Williams doing an excellent job of picking up the slack. That shows his senior leadership.
Well, hey, we've got all we bargained for here tonight. Washington leading at 50-48 in a great basketball game. And as we talked about, we'll have more high school playoff action for you next weekend on the Missouri side, as we will be out at Lee Summit High School and doing the sectional play out there at Lee Summit. Plenty of fine teams in that one.
Desjuan Williams doing an excellent job, as I said once before, of picking up that slack. He's showing that senior leadership. Earl Watson being kind of out of the game at this point and staying passive with 4 fouls.
Shot misses on the baseline, but right there to clean it up, Jamie Hatley with his first 2 tonight, the 5'11 senior.
And guess whose man that was? That was Earl Watson's man. Earl didn't want to get in any kind of foul trouble right there, so he let Hatley have the bucket.
And guess what? We're tied up again. Tied up for the 4th time in this quarter. Here's Brown backing it out. Now to Williams, and he traveled. Desjuan Williams shuffling the feet, the junior,
here we
senior.
Jamie Hatley working hard on that glass right there, getting that putback. Earl Watson just standing there with his hands straight up, not wanting to pick up that 5th foul. Jamie Hatley has got to take advantage of this situation.
Zone full court pressure from the Wildcats. Williams down low to Jones, but a foul on Washington. And that will be on Washington, the 16th foul here in the second half.
Here we can see Victor Williams going strong to the basket, giving it up to Hatley, who is Watson's man. Hatley, nice look inside. Got fouled in the process.
Foul on Steve Brown, his first personal tonight. Out high Williams, approaching the 4-minute mark in this one. 50-50 your score. Here's Steele out front by Holt. Now he goes after it again, just pecking at him like a woodpecker. But now Williams with his cone drill. Dumps it off, the shot from outside missing by Dockery. Right back at him by Hatley.
There he is, there's Hatley. Making his big move right now in the 4th quarter.
2-point lead for the Bulldogs. Brown has it ahead of the pack. And he was shoved underneath by Wyandotte. That is Patrick Jones trying to get back and contest.
And once again, Hatley doing an excellent job of staying active. On the miss by Alvin Dockery, there we see Hatley doing a nice job with a nice left-handed follow. Good work by Hatley on the offensive glass.
Back into the ballgame for Washington is Romarda Martin, who had a nice first half with 8 points. And Williams another bucket. Desjuan with 4 now. We're tied again, this time at 52. Hatley on the move. And the rebound taken in by Watson. And the senior leader waves his team down the floor. Says he'll do it this time. Out high, Williams. Now to Martin. And around the perimeter, Holt. And a timeout called by Washington. 3:17 to play. Coach Sparkman to talk it over with his squad.
Well, now it's about time for Earl Watson to take over. We've got 3.5 minutes to go in this basketball game. It's about time he can let it all hang out here in the 4th quarter. Earl Watson here doing a good job of boxing out, doing a good job on the miss by Hatley, going after the ball strong.
And there sits Earl Watson with his 22 points, averaging 21 a game on the season. Listening in to head coach Sparkman as we look into the huddle of Wayne Van Dyne.
Well, what Coach Van Dyne is saying here, he's saying be strong with the basketball, and he wants Hatley to continue to go to the glass like he does. He also wants the ball in the hands of the likes of Victor Williams and Nathan Johnson. That's where their scoring comes from, and their confidence with the ball comes from. The person that's really got to be careful right now is Holt. Holt's been taking a lot of chances and reaching for the ball against Victor Williams. He has been successful a couple of times, but Victor Williams has got great handles and great quickness, and he'll burn you in a heartbeat.
Washington to inbound, and they do it to Joe Macklin, who's back in there with his 4 personals. Steve Brown all alone from 3 thought about it. Watson will shoot it. There he is.
Time for Earl Watson to take over.
Earl Watson has broken the tie again, and that is his 3rd three-pointer, has 25 tonight. A 3-point lead for the Wildcats. And 10 seconds called against Wyandotte. So the zone pressure defense working well for Washington.
It really is, and also this right here. Victor Williams does it, Earl Watson does an excellent job, I shouldn't say of staying active, but getting a screen, using that screen, and the confidence to pull up and nail it from a foot behind the arc.
Underneath 3 to play, 55-52, Washington on top by 3. We have been tied 6 times in this 4th quarter, and with that 3-point bucket, Earl Watson has put his team up by 3. And now they're going to spread the floor a bit, maybe go to that 4 corners offense again.
This is a good move here by Coach Sparkman. Once again, he wants to take control of that tempo, slow the pace of the ball game down, and get it into Washington's favor.
And a steal from behind by Williams. Victor Williams pulls his team to within 1, and he has 25 now, and Washington throws it away.
Now this is the tempo that Wyandotte wants. They want that helter-skelter, and they want the ball into the hands of Victor Williams.
And a reach on Romarto Martin. And I think that's 4 fouls on Martin.
Well, the pace of the game was really nullified right there by Victor Williams. Did a good job of getting his hands in there, getting a piece of that ball, and breaking away for the layup.
That's only 2 on Martin. But he takes a seat now as entering the ball game, re-entering is Courtney Holt. To the free throw line is Victor Williams, a 78% free throw shooter.
Well, this is exactly who Wyandotte wants to have at the free throw line. 78% is a good percentage from the line, and he's your leader.
And Doug, I'm still looking for the weakness in his game. Maybe Coach Ben Stein is wondering what that might be as well. He takes you off the dribble, he shoots it well from outside, he's good on the defensive end, and there's the free throw percentage. 78%, he knocks them both down.
The only weakness Victor Williams can have is Victor Williams, meaning that he can try and do too much to get himself into some bad situations.
56-55, Wyandotte now back up on top by 1. Steve Brown lets it fly. Rebounded by Washington. Played up, no good by Watson. It was a great rebound by Macklin. And a foul upcoming, I believe, on Wyandotte. And that'll be the 15th foul on Wyandotte. The foul goes against Patrick Jones.
Probably an ill-advised shot right there by Brown. Brown's not their three-point shooter, and with a minute and 45 seconds to go, you don't want to take that shot. It's a good hustle to keep the ball alive. Earl Watson almost made that spectacular shot. And then the foul.
Watson open for 3 with the pump fake, and now the shot from Holt. Missing, keeping it alive, and Brown lays it in, the sophomore.
That's where Brown's effective, right inside around the bucket, where he can get those nice step backs.
A 1-point Washington lead, as we are just going back and forth here in the 4th quarter. Williams lost the handle. And taken right back by Wyandotte, but it was Jones that stepped on the baseline after some great hustle. And timeout on the floor. I believe the timeout called by Washington.
Washington doing a good job of staying patient and getting the shots they want. Here's Steve Brown is at the right place at the right time, getting the ball for the nice stick back. Good two-footer by Brown there.
And was it Macklin again keeping it alive on the offensive boards?
And here we see Washington going and a good hustle by Patrick Jones to try and strip that ball from behind. Well, Washington wants to get the ball into the hands of Earl Watson. Right now it's time to let it all hang out. You want it in the hands of your senior leadership and your star player for Washington. On the other hand, Wyandotte wants the ball in the hands of Victor Williams. Victor Williams just making it happen. They can put that 1-4 low into effect right now. Give him the ball and make it something happen.
Holt on the wing. Washington with the basketball and the lead by 1. They go the high post and then dump it to Watson, who tips it to Brown, and the sophomore with another big shot.
Really a big shot there by Brown. A good job by Watson. He lost the handle and just flicked it over to Brown.
They ran that 4 corners with the high post and then working the give and go well. And here's Williams out high.
Look out, here it comes.
Johnson to Williams, lets it fly, missing the shot. Rebound inside Wyandotte and a foul on Washington. The foul will be on Holt, and keeping the action alive in there is Patrick Jones.
Excellent job once again by Patrick Jones on the offensive glass. Once again, he's eating glass. Right here, Steve Jones does a great job. Good move by Steve Jones. Getting that defender off balance and turn around, sticking that 7-foot jump shot.
So going to the free throw line, it will be Patrick Jones of Wyandotte. Back into the ball game is Jamie Hatley. He replaces Willie Young. But it's Patrick Jones to the line. Patrick about 50% from the line tonight, and he's 49% on the season.
Well, this is obviously the guy that Washington wants the free throw line, shooting 49% from the line. He's got to stick this one to put Washington within 2. Washington, or Wyandotte within 2. Washington, on the other hand, be content just to hold the ball and go to the free throw line.
Missing both. Watson the rebound. 25 seconds to play. 3-point lead for Washington.
And what's bad about this is Washington is 2 fouls away from being in the bonus.
And Watson is fouled. I think it's Johnson that picks up the foul. And Watson will go to the free throw line, I believe. Of course, the scoreboard is showing 16 fouls, so they're going to take the ball out from underneath. So they weren't even in the 1-on-1 situation yet. So Coach Sparkman's team will have to get the ball inbounds. They lead it by 3 with 17 seconds left. And remember, Washington has not beaten Wyandotte in Sparkman's 5 years here. So this would be a huge win personally for him and for his program, as they would capture their first outright conference championship since 1975 with the win here tonight. But Doug, it's a long way from over.
That's right, with about 17 and a half, 18 seconds to go in this basketball game. Coach Sparkman wants the ball in the hands of Earl Watson because he's a good free throw shooter. Coach Van Dyke, on the other hand, is saying completely deny Earl Watson the basketball. We do not want him to have the ball, and we want him to go. We want anybody but Earl Watson to go to the free throw line at this point. That's what Coach Van Dyke is saying right there in that huddle right now.
Well, the other thing we were talking about, Earl Watson, there he is as he'll try to work it for his team through the final 17. He had his lip busted open the other night in the last game, 7 stitches, and he's been playing with a little bit of pain there as he had that lip stitched up after it was busted open the other night. But he's not even feeling any pain right now. 17 seconds left, 59-56, his team on top by 3.
And I would imagine that Earl's going to get some screens right here to get the basketball in his hands.
Well, instead they foul Williams quickly. And Desjuan Williams is 67% from the line on the season, and he will go to the line this time. That is the 17th foul on Wyandotte, putting Washington into the 1-on-1 situation. Coach Sparkman looking on. His Wyandotte team Washington team, 14-5 on the season, 4-1 in the conference. Their only loss to Wyandotte this season in conference play. And Williams putting them a little bit closer to a possible victory here tonight as he hits the first.
Well, that was really a big free throw, which means it's a 2-possession game. Washington being up 4, possibly 5 here, meaning that now Wyandotte definitely needs a 3 in one of the next 2 possessions.
Williams with 2 big free throws. They put on the full court pressure. Wyandotte on the move and a foul inside. And it's either going to be on Holt or Brown, and it'll be a shooting foul, which stops the clock for Wyandotte.
Well, that's exactly what they need, is the clock to stop, and they need to send somebody to the free throw line. That's exactly what the doctor ordered right there for Wyandotte. Good patience by Victor Williams.
And I wonder if Coach Sparkman liked that at all. Picking up the foul with 9 seconds left. Patrick Jones. And here's the reaction to the foul. Not now. You got a 5-point lead, guys. And there's the rebound by Brown after Jones missed the 2 free throws. And it looks like we're going to have a foul on Wyandotte in the backcourt with 5 seconds left.
Well, with 5 seconds left and a 5-point lead, this game is almost out of reach right now. Washington can definitely put it out of reach. If they hit these 2 free throws, putting them up 7, that would be a 3-possession basketball game. And with 4.9 seconds to go, that's virtually impossible to overcome.
And the sophomore Brown going to the free throw line, and he's had a nice game, averaging 6 a game on the season. He's come in here and hit some real crucial buckets down the stretch. And where that free throw has 13 points, he makes it a 3-possession game with this one right here, and the game will be out of reach.
That's exactly right.
Still alive, Wyandotte with the basketball, up the floor, and that's your ball game. The Washington Wildcats have beaten Wyandotte for the first time in 5 seasons for Coach Sparkman, and they are the Kansas City, Kansas Conference champions. Earl Watson and many of the Bulldog players and Wayne Van Dyne hugging after the game. Excellent contest between the two. Good to see the great sportsmanship in an excellent high school basketball game here at Washington High School. Your final, 62-56, Washington wins it. Back with more after this. Your final once again from Washington High School. The Wildcats win it by 6, 62-56. They win the Kansas City, Kansas Conference championship this season outright for the first time since 1975, Doug. And Coach Sparkman excited because he finally gets a win against Wyandotte.
Well, definitely is something to be excited about and push your team into the sub-state. At this point in the season, they need momentum. And going into the sub-state, Washington definitely has that, winning their conference title.
So Earl Watson with 25 tonight. Victor Williams with 27 for Wyandotte. Great job by our Metro Sports crew tonight, led by Bruce McRoberts and Curtis Lorenz. For Doug Elston, this is Neil Harwell. We'll see you next time on the High School Game of the Week.